Good morning. Welcome to Wildflower Garden Tarot Aquarius. I'm finally getting down to everybody. I decided in 2021 that I'm going to focus on the horoscopes, on the different signs, including the cusps. And I have introduced the runes into my practice. And, I've been studying them for a while now, a couple months. And of course that study, it will take forever, but I have already found that including the runes into my divinatory practice has just added this incredible depth to the readings, because ultimately, these readings are meant to be a guide for you, and Spirit is really coming through in this. So Aquarius, let's give him a 5 of Wands. We'll see. You might be having some conflict, but I right now I see from the runes that you are really kind of maybe in transition. But don't worry, all goes well. Raidho is the first one I pulled for you. And Raidho is a time in your life of evolutionary change, in that you're experiencing changes that aren't just changes for change's sake, that they are change. And not just that it's like, oh, this is something you have to endure, but they are changes that are for your evolutionary good, that they're for you to grow. This also indicates this is a time when a lot of your beliefs are being challenged, or that you are learning more about life. You maybe have been introduced to new people or new situations, or your belief system that you maybe grew up with is being not necessarily challenged, but it's a time in your life where you understand that there's more to things. I'll give you an example. Okay, myself, even now as a tarot reader, I was raised in a tradition that people that did stuff like this were evil. Like this was an evil practice. Many of you listening to this will understand this, and I never imagined that I would be doing tarot readings at all, right? And even this deck, right? And there's a pentacle on it. So this is my first deck that I ever got. And so, as I started to recognize the gifts that the Creator has been giving me, then I have naturally been more curious about different things. And it's like, well, you know what? Maybe I'll start listening to some tarot readers. Well, then it's like, well, you know what, that doesn't seem evil. Like that just seems kind of pretty helpful, actually. And then, like, well, you know what, maybe I'll try this. And sure enough, I seem to have a gift for it. And then I learn about, well, what are these symbols then, right? And this has always, to me, been like an evil symbol. But it's not. It's the 4 elements led by the Creator. I don't know the Wiccan practice. I know that this is a Wiccan symbol. I'm not sure what that is in Wiccan tradition, but this is, oh, hi. Hi, brother. So this is my practice. So this is a time in your life where you're learning things and challenging your beliefs. It's not very helpful. And it's also a time now that maybe you have always done what other people, oh my goodness, what other people have expected of you. He's such a good boy. This is Axel Rosie. Hi, sees. Hi. Axel Rosie, pretty as a posy. That you've always kind of done what other people have told you to do, or done what has been expected of you, and suddenly, you know, you're changing, you're evolving, and this is a time to say, you know what, this is my life, you know, and as best as possible, without disrupting things too much, you need to live your own life, you know, and follow your heart and your desires, you know, and not let these past experiences hold you back. The next rune is Turistat, sorry, which literally means giants. So this means a time of confronting giants in your life that may be living a life that isn't in agreement with your family, or with your parents. You know, some of us are 50 years old, we're still scared of our parents. Scared of disappointing our parents, scared of challenging their belief system, right? But this is also, Turistas is also a rune that is telling you to watch out for enemies. You may have hidden enemies. You might have enemies that you didn't expect. And, you know, this can cause a time of upheaval in your life, right? It's painful. Just like, boy, I thought these people had my back, and here, guess what? They don't. They've been talking about me, or they've been this, or they've been that, right? So, Axel, you're not helpful. So, he's shedding too. So, yeah, I'm wondering why he's so curious all of a sudden. He doesn't usually do this for people's readings. He must be trying to help. Cats are spirit animals for sure. So the next rune is Lagus. I'll show it to you in a second. Which literally means water. So this is a time now, right? I mean, it's interesting how these runes literally flow from one thing to the next. To, you know, not struggle against what's happening. You know, if you're in water, you know, and you got out of your depth, say, yeah, all right, and, yeah, he likes to have his bum petted. Ridiculous thing. You get out of your depth and you start struggling like this. You will sink like a stone. That is not going to be very helpful for you at all. So, this Lagus is telling you to go with the flow. Or in my interpretation of it for this reading is to go with the flow. Lagus also encourages you to see, you know, like water, when you look at it, just looking at it, you can't tell if the water is shallow or if it's deep. So, you know, you need to trust it. And when you look in it, you see the reflection of yourself. This is also a time for you to explore your own beliefs about yourself, to stop and look at who you really are. Because sometimes we can really get stuck in a victim mode, Spirit just said to me, which wasn't actually where I was going, but okay. You know, this is a time to stop and say, you know, who have we been to other people? When have I been cruel? When have I been negligent? When have I been so busy looking at my own problems that I didn't pay attention to what was going on around me? But, you know, if you don't consider this a time where you're out of your depth, but that you lay your head back and give yourself into the process and relax, that water, that river will take you, you know, where it's your destiny to go. And finally, I'm just going to put Axel down. Finally, the last rune, so this was Lagus. There. And finally, the last rune is Othala, which is inheritance. So this can mean, like, you know, that you're coming up upon good fortune, that you're coming upon like property, finances. Hey! The cats are just acting nuts this morning. I don't know what the deal is. But also inheritance of past learnings, past lessons handed down to you from your family, which is kind of like the opposite of Radho, like in some ways. So to me, you know, Aquarius, you're in this time of evolutionary change. Trust the process. Let yourself just float through life. Be aware that you might get your feelings hurt in this time. And also be aware of when you haven't been what other people have needed you to be. Yeah. Okay. So, Spirit, what is going on with Aquarius? I keep wanting to say Capricorn. Ace of Swords. So, yeah, new beginnings. The things you never even thought to reach for, suddenly you're like, you know what? I'm going to go for it. Like that little mouse, you know, probably been way down on the ground, and all the other, his little friends are down there, and he's climbed up that dandelion. He's going to reach for that sword. You're going to take control of your thoughts. Oh, the Spirit just said you're going to let some of those thoughts go. See? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. So, yeah, new beginnings, new perspectives, new ways of looking at things. You know, dandelions are also the flower of spring. Right? Oh, Spirit just said dandelions have hidden depths of benefit. Their roots, and they're like, they have benefit above and below the surface. You know, their leaves are very healthy for salads, whatnot. Their roots are extremely healthy. So, you know, this is a good time in your life. Even if it seems still a little bit unattainable, at least you're willing to get going. All right. What else have we got? Page of Swords. So we've got a lot of sword energy. So really working at manifesting. I mean, we often are told to manifest under the full moon. The full moon is tonight or tomorrow night here. Full moon power. A time when suddenly things are so bright even at night. The path becomes more clear. Oh, Spirit just drew my attention to the owl. That suddenly you're going to see... Oh, yes. Just like a moon card. I won't be surprised if we get a moon card. But, there's a... Okay. So you're at the beginning of this journey. Learning. Just like these suggested. Evolutionary change. That's so tourist hat. You know, confronting the giants of your life. Evolutionary change. Follow your dreams and your desires. Challenging your belief system. So this is another one of those things of challenging your belief system, right? Like in days past, people were burned for being witches. My job, how I earn my money, one of the ways I earn my money is that I am an intuitive healer. Back in the day, I'd have been burned for that. Certainly for doing something like reading cards, you'd be burned at the stake for being a witch. So, you know, as our culture changes, we realize that, you know, just because something was a belief in the past doesn't mean that it was true. That may have been, you know, just made up for the benefit of people in power, right? So in this deck, you know, the witch is pulling together, you know, it's like the magician. It's like pulling together all the elements to create a new life, to create something new. It also is indicating to me, you know, this Rainbow energy, right? That you are expanding your thought process. All right. What else? Oops. Okay, so, you know, this does mean, though, it's true, that in some cases, just as we had discussed in Tuatat, is that you may by this evolutionary change in your life, you're going to cross a river. You're going to go where you can't go back. Not everybody is going to be on board with you changing. People, when people change, you just are going to lose some folks. But that's okay, because those folks have gone on the path with you as far as they can go, and it's really nobody's fault. You know, don't be angry with them. They just are not capable of following you any further. You have got big things to do. Now, the Eight of Wands is really interesting. It's often can be that you're struggling, you're going against the grain, which I guess you are, right? Yeah, and there's been some of this. So, you know, it's hard to lose those relationships. It's hard, you know, to say, there it is. Yeah, it's hard to say, you know what, this person that I've been for 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, whatever, isn't actually who I've ever been, you know. And the struggle to follow your own heart, you know, like the desire to follow your own heart and to be your own person and to change is really weighed down by the loss of people, the loss of relationships, and the angst of learning truths about people that you didn't want to know, of finding out maybe that you've been betrayed by your friends. See, there's the moon again. Things are being revealed. Okay. Things are being revealed now to you. Some of this, okay, a lot of this evolutionary change is happening because it's been forced upon you, because things have been revealed to you. You're getting what you asked for, but the process is more challenging than you imagined. I'm just wondering if you've been cheated on. Aquarius. This is the coming of the age of Aquarius. Spirit, what is causing this? Raid hole. What is some background? Can we get some background? I'm just wondering if I should change sex. Whoa. Some background is Two of Swords, disagreement. Could be over property. Okay. Can we get some more spirit on what has caused like this evolutionary change time for Aquarius? Disagreements. You've been betrayed. Oh, interesting. You know what? Because we have this Othala, inherited property. You might be You might have an issue with family members over property, over an inheritance. Yeah, 9 of Wands. Let's see what we've got here. Battle scarred. Okay, what's some background for these Aquarians? What's this? Flips itself over. 6 of Pentacles. Okay, so we got some... So a lot of this is over money, I think. Okay, a little bit more. That's a lot. I'm going to take all of those because it's just so much. You just told me to shuffle. Like, so 6 of Pentacles is often generosity. It's picking to give money here or there, right? You're picking one side over another side often. In this deck, though, it often says to me something about somebody being, see how he's holding money behind his back, or he's holding dice behind his back. I just feel like Torres has said that you are, okay, by whom? You're being tricked and cheated, perhaps. You have enemies that you didn't even know. It's like, how could this happen? Like, I never... Wow, like, I'm really learning a lot about these people. You know what? With COVID, too, all over the world, people... money's tight. When money's tight, sometimes you find out a lot of things. Okay, tell us about this. Conflict, spirit. Aquarius. I don't know why I want to keep saying Capricorn. Aquarius. Maybe the other person. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Maybe the other person is a Capricorn. But out comes a 4 of Wands now. Which is a new partnership, a new day. All right. So Spirit didn't want to tell me any more about the bad stuff. It's like, that's enough. Let's focus on what's going on. 4 of Wands. That's sometimes 11-11. That is sometimes... And sure enough, just like the runes said, Spirit just said, these awful circumstances are actually leading you to your true path. And maybe your true person. 4 of Wands is often a twin flame. It often is a new relationship. evolutionary change, getting rid of some people and finding out, you know, who's really there. I'm just going to look this one up because I think that there's a rewarding conclusion. With the harvest comes a time of rejoicing, enjoying the fruits. So, you know, you've overcome this. Or you will overcome it. I mean, which is what Othala tells you. You'll come out fine in the end. Better than fine. Celebration, this is just like Othala. Celebration of work completed, status increase, vitality, prosperity, career success. Efforts rewarded, happy home, promotion, harmony, labors, reaping a good harvest. This is what happens when you end up following your heart. Because, you know, the Creator puts in your heart certain desires because that's God's will for your life. When you don't follow those things and you do what other people say, you know, you're not going to be on the right path. Sometimes we have to do things the hard way. Okay, so tell us a little bit more about this Four of Wands. The Spirit just said, you know what, look at all the apples there. This blessed life is coming from what you previously perceived to be not possible and not good for you. There was some benefit for people holding you back here. Good luck holding back, Aquarians. It's not going to last for too long. Notice how a water sign, right? And Lagus. It's very prominent in this reading. Okay. Can you tell us a little bit, Spirit, about this Four of Wands? Spirit, is there anything more to tell the Aquarians? I think that's it, buds. Oh, nope. Yeah. So you've got your work cut out for you. But starting over is, to me, this speaks of inheritance, of family property, of home. You know, like you might have been on the outside for a while, but it's all going to come together for you. Be brave. Be brave. These things are hard, you know. These things are hard. It's hard to, yeah, harvest. It is really a hard thing to challenge family. It looks to me like it could be, it's family that is the issue here. Perhaps you've always been the black sheep, you just didn't realize how much until push come to shove, until you came to challenging, you know, your place. And maybe somebody has passed away, or something has happened where, you know, just like in these, like, you know, like these, these older novels, right? Like Jane Eyre and, you know, those novels where you're actually the rightful heir, but everybody's led you to believe that you're nothing or that you have nothing. But suddenly you find it within yourself to stick up for yourself and to dig and look and explore. And there's a whole new life for you. The life that you were meant to have. Okay? So, Watch your back. Be brave. Don't struggle, and just know that this evolutionary change, it's meant to be. It's God's will for your life. Just let Spirit help you do things naturally. If this, I've been really bad for not promoting my channel, but I would like to promote my channel. I'd like more people to, I think these are really good readings. If they resonate with you, if you also think they're good readings, and keep in mind that, just because we're doing your sign, you can do, there's the cross watcher sign, there's your sun sign, your moon sign, there's all sorts of guidance that you can get through the other horoscopes. You can check out what's going on with other people. And through the different periods, I will, do some general readings, some work readings, some general love readings. I'll try to mix it up. But if this resonates with you at all, if you get anything out of this, please throw me a like. And if you would subscribe, that would be great. And if you would share this with others, that would be even greater. So have a blessed life and be strong and be brave. This is a good time.